Alright, well, it's been a while. Let me hold this out here. It's been a while. I need to give the people that care, anybody, if there's anybody that cares, an update on what's going on with the project. And the project has changed kind of dramatically. So let me stop showing you my ugly face and show you the project. So as you can see, the 62 is kind of, well, sort of where it was. And no real progress has been made there. And that is because we've got this guy. I got myself an 83 FJ60. I don't know. I think I uploaded a video of me looking at it and driving it. If not, I'll link it here so you can see me going to get it. As you can see, I'm well into the project here. But let me just give you some highlights of what I've done so far. So this thing that's on the floor here, that was some crazy homemade bumper. And those insane mounts were welded inside the frame. Big square plate on the outside of both. They put that weird homemade bumper on it, and then put these giant tow hooks that are honestly that's inch thick steel, welded to what is that, 1/8 inch? I don't know. Anyway, I cut all those out. I've still got these two mounts here, which I'm not entirely sure the point of them. You know, that's what you get when you get a 40-year-old vehicle. The engine runs fantastically. I live just outside North Carolina, or Charlotte, North Carolina, and me and a buddy flew to Arkansas, bought this, and it took a couple days to drive it back camping along the way. I got my stainless battery tray, and if you can notice, this inner fender is satin black because a battery had obviously exploded. Battery acid ran all the way down inside there. The inside of the old fender well, which is over there, was eaten all up, and along this bottom edge here there was some rust, so I had to get all that out of there, rust convert all that, so that should be good for a long time. The only other issues I had, really, that I knew when I picked it up, I had some rust along this. Apparently somebody just stuffed fiberglass all down inside here. You can see a piece of it right here. So they took this fiberglass and basically just this is the I think it's the other side, but anyway, they stuffed this fiberglass up in there, and then they skim it all with Bondo. Well, guess what? That makes whatever rust you had in there a whole lot worse. So both of these had to be cut out. This one is a lot worse. The inner fender on this one was pretty rusted out, so I had to rebuild the inner fender as well as the outer lip. So I've got it now smooth enough so I can skim it and block that. So I have a double layer there. I had to take the tailgate off because the tailgate had a little bit running along the fold here, but I was able to cut away the fold, dig out whatever rust was active in there, and then hit it all with rust converter. So that's going to be fine. I won't have to do any real major work on that. You can see here's the other I had some rust. This you can see has got some red primer on it, just in this area. So I don't know exactly what happened here, but there was a spot that was about this big, and it was rusted enough that there were holes all the way through it. So I had to cut all that out, weld some new material in there. I had to take, go over here, sorry for rambling. I had to take this roof rack off that was on it, and weld up the holes. Let me walk to the other side so you can see why you should not mount roof racks with gigantic sheet metal screws. You can see how it pulls and stretches it. On top of the fact you gotta drill a hole. So I got 4 more holes over here I gotta fix. I went ahead and pulled this quarter windshield out, or quarter window out, because I just wanted to make sure. Because as I was walking around, you know, these things are notorious for rusting at the bottom corners. I pulled up the corner of the gasket here, and underneath I could see rust. So I was like, all right, well, I got to get in there. So I popped the windshield out. Got a little more there I need to get rid of. A little more there. Yeah, so this is the white fender off the FJ62. The primary reason it's on here, it isn't really what I'm going to use. I'm waiting on a 60 fender to show up in the mail, from a guy I'm ordering from, and the Valance. But the reason, let me lower the hood. The reason that this was here was because the way that this was hit, I can show you the fender that came off of it. See how this is pushed in? It's a pretty good smack. Well, that pushed in the corner of this hood. And so I had to pull the hood out using a hammer and dolly, get these lines pretty straight. So I got this fender on here so I could match up this line and get this close enough. So all I need is just a tiny bit of skim here and shape that back. I would have just cut the nose off of this one. The problem is right under here I can feel rust running along this seam, and there's really no rust in this hood. It was just wrinkled there. So I don't want to take a part that's got a bit of rust in it and put it on here when I can just, when this is purely a cosmetic and not a structural problem. And it's going to take a very small amount of skim to get that back into shape. The Valance, I told you I'm buying another one, but I went ahead and tried my hand, and even though the Valance was really crunched up, I was able to, I don't know if you can see, that shiny metal is where I was beating this thing with a hammer and a dolly, and I got a couple of curved dollies. Anyway, I've got this Valance in a state where if I had to, I could use it. At the very least, I could use it as a backup. That took about 3 hours to get it back to a semi-usable state. Like I say, I had to pull the windshield out, which sucked, period. But what sucked more was, yeah, how cool is that? So there must have been a tiny little chip here because I had essentially no pressure on this windshield. I can see it looks like there's water in there and it's black in there. So this crack may have been there a while. And because I went in there and put a little bit of pressure on it, popped for me. So that sucks. Yeah, so that's what's going on. This guy, the stock color here is called copper metallic. I wasn't sure if I wanted to go back because it's so dark, but I saw some pictures on somebody on the mud forum. Theirs looks awesome. Plus, here on the tailgate, where it's been hidden since it left the factory, it's got much more red in it than the paint does. All the red has faded. You can look here and see it. And this is single stage metallic. So I might go, I don't know. I don't know if I'll go single stage or base coat, clear coat. Yeah, that's right. Let me show you the other thing. Boom chakalaka, 5-speed. So that's pretty awesome. So, having the 62 here has been good. So this actually has an OME. You can see the greasable shackle there. This has an OME suspension and some shocks that are branded TJM. I don't know who that is. It rides fine actually, but I've got brand new OME suspension here. So I'm going to swap that over. I'm also going to take the third member out of these axles and put them in those axles because I need to confirm that it hasn't been done, but the FJ62 apparently has 4.10 gear ratios in the axles compared to I think 373 in the FJ60 axles. So a little bit shorter gearing in the dips will really make a big difference because I'm liking these tires here. These 32 by 11.5, they look great. These are Mickey Thompson wheels, which I like. I'm just not a black wheel fan. So I'm probably going to do something with those. I like that phone dial style wheel. And they're a bit wider wheel than the stock 15s. I think these are about a 7-inch wide wheel, I guess. And those I think are about 10. So you can put 11.5 wide tires on them, and I really like the look of those tires. I know it mostly it's for looks. I'm not going to lie to myself. But I will be once this is done, taking this on nice long camping trips, and I want to go out west with it. And yeah, I plan on using it. But when I'm all done, this OME suspension, which I think is about 6 or 8 years old, I'm going to sell it. Sell the shocks. I just give the shocks up. Probably, you put those on. I guess I put them on mud. See if anybody wants them. And start selling off the 62. I'll sell the tub as a unit. Sell the doors separately, but the tub is unit. Since everybody knows how much work went into fixing the rust on here, I'm going to sell the tub, pretty cheap. Probably $600-800. Make me an offer I can't refuse. I got this carpet kit for that one. This one's got a perfect dash. I need to put that up for sale like right away because I know I'm not going to finish that. Yeah, anyway, that's what's going on. I'm not dead yet. So, talk to you later.